Hey, if you're looking to find out how you can get anywhere from a 795 or 800 plus credit score, or really just get your credit score in a better position than it's in now, maybe you have bad credit, maybe you have no credit, maybe you have okay credit, maybe your credit is good and you just want to figure out how to maintain and keep it growing, this is definitely the video for you. So stay tuned, keep on watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to Prestigious Prep by Paris. I am Paris and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. Again, because you are here, excellence must certainly be near. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, then thank you so much for coming back. Prep Squad, that's what I call all of my supporters. And so anyway, I'm just happy that you all are here. Pretty much, I'm sure by the title you are here because you want all the tips and you want to get the tips for free, and as you should. But today we're going to talk all about credit. Nowadays you can have a surplus of money and still not be able to obtain some of the things that you would like because you don't have the credit to support it. Either you have really bad credit or either you don't have any credit at all, which in some cases is just as bad as having really poor credit. So today, we're going to talk about how you can get that credit score up and popping so that you can get all of the things that you desire out of life. We know things are great to have. We cannot take them with us. However, while we're here on earth, we would certainly like to live the best life that we can. And clearly, everybody over here, we already know that we're not a perfect people, but we do want to excel in all areas of our lives. That's our motto. That's what we live by. And so, every day, we take another step in the right direction. So without prolonging this video, I kind of just want to get started. As you already see by the title, these are your 10 tips. I don't know if you follow me on social media, but if you don't, you should follow me at Prestigious Prep by Paris on Facebook as well as Instagram. And I'm also active on Twitter at prestige_prep. I will make sure that all of the information to my social media accounts as well as business inquiry email is down below in the description box. I will also be sure to link any of the websites that I shared today or the businesses that I shared today so that you can check them out if you like. All right, so top 10. We are going to start with my first. If you see me kind of looking away, it's because I do have notes and I don't want to miss anything, okay? All right, so first thing on the list. If you don't already know, you definitely want to make sure that you are pulling your credit every year. Now, if you are not familiar with how to do that, you could definitely go to freecreditreport.com once a year and pull your actual credit report. So it's going to give you all things under the sun, that are listed on your report. Now, they do not give you scores. You will have to pay for scores. It's a very minimal fee. I can't remember what it is right now, but again, I'll put the link below and then you can gather all the details. But most importantly, you can go out here every single year, pull your credit and see what's on there. Now, for those of you who have never pulled your credit, it's very easy. It's just a few steps. They're going to ask you for things like your social security number and other private things that probably only you should know. So you'll be able to get your credit report. At that point, you can print it or download it or whatever you would like to do with it, but then you take that information and then you can figure out exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, sometimes people are the victim of identity theft. I also know people when they were younger, their parents put things in their name, so you really will get a chance to see really everything that's listed across the board. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure you go over to creditreport.com. This is not a sponsored video, but it could be. Hey, creditreport.com. But anyway, you could go over there and get all the information you need for the free 99, and then you can be in the know, so then you know exactly how to move forward. Now, after you've actually set up or pulled your credit report, it's also a great idea to make sure that you go ahead and create you a free creditkarma.com account. The purpose of Credit Karma is for you to be able to monitor your credit for free. Now, there are other sites that do this. A lot of the credit cards have credit monitoring built in. Right now, it's not anything additional that you pay for. It comes with the service. However, maybe you don't have a credit card just yet. And so really, you're just looking for an option to be able to monitor your credit for free. Over there, you can see, exactly what's happening with your Experian as well as your TransUnion, I believe. They will also provide you with your credit score. They will also provide you with ways to increase your credit score. If your credit score increases or decreases, they will communicate those changes to you, and you can be able to see the transcript or the order in which things happen, so you know exactly who you can reach out to in the event you want to gather further information. You can also file disputes over there, just a few simple clicks with things that you don't agree with that are possibly on your credit report. If you're looking for a secure card or just credit cards in general, they will provide opportunities for you to connect with credit card lenders, essentially, and they will tell you right then and there whether or not you are pre-approved, what your potential interest rates are, if you need additional information for home loans, auto loans, if you're looking for refinancing, consolidation. Really, Credit Karma is a great tool that's free, and it offers, everything across the board. So I have nothing but good things to say about Credit Karma, especially again because it's free. Did I say it was free? Yes, it is free. You can't really beat that. You can get all of these resources for free. Clearly there are things on there that you can definitely pay for that are enhancements if you want to get those, but every month you get an update from Credit Karma on what your score is. It updates. You can actually get on there more often than that, but you can generate or have an automatic email generated to you saying, hey, your new scores are ready, and then you can check those out. So just to recap, you're going to go over to freecreditreport.com, pull your credit report, look through it, see what's on it, identify any discrepancies or any opportunities for you to consolidate or come into some kind of agreement with these lenders. You're also going to get on get on creditkarma.com and create you an actual account and monitor your activity from there. So if you see anything on your credit that you want to dispute, you can dispute it right from there. TransUnion, they still, in most cases, you have to call them or go a paper route. But they do have access to see exactly what's happening with TransUnion, and they give you the number and some additional details if you need to reach out to them for whatever reason. So let's see. When you actually have already pulled your credit report and you've got on creditkarma.com and you are really just trying to understand what's happening with your credit and you're going through the whole dispute process, again, you want to pay attention to all of the details. There are lots of communications that you can set up to be notified when things change. So make sure you take advantage of those. There is, like I said, student loans, car loans, auto loans, personal loans, credit cards. All of that detail can be found actually on creditkarma.com. So definitely check them out. What I would also say is that if you don't have a service that not only monitors your credit and will do something about it or put some things into action for you, if someone does attempt to steal your identity, you do want to make sure that you get you a LifeLock account. If you're not familiar with LifeLock, what it is a monitoring service that you can pay for monthly or on an annual basis. And what happens is they will monitor your credit for you. They will monitor your credit just in general. They will also monitor your credit activity if there's anything on the dark web, meaning on the internet, but in places where people are trading information or selling your information or doing anything inappropriate with your information in general. That is the dark web. So, lots of things happen. If you don't really know what the dark web is, you can Google it. Lots of information out there. It's not a great place to be, especially not for your personal, private information. Okay. So anyway, they will monitor all of the activity for you. In the event something does happen, they will provide a team of staff to you to really help you get through the process. They will go after the actual offender. They will also provide lawyers, and I think it is up to $1 million worth of lawyer fees, to really just fight the fight for you. So, you know, it's I think it's maybe $29.99 if you're just someone that is single. However, you can definitely sign your kids up. Personally, I know for a fact that you can sign you and your spouse up. It's still $29.99 each, and then you have to pay $5.99 additional for each child that you add. That is, you know, not of legal age that you add to your account. So, I mean, it sounds like it's a lot. However, we're talking about your livelihood and you know, the ability to have a force in place that's going to be able to combat someone trying to steal your whole identity. So honestly, look at it as an investment for your security, and I definitely feel like it's worth it. For me, it is routine, just like the gas bill and the electric bill. So get in the mindset of that, because really, I mean, if you're not protecting yourself, then who will? So again, this service is not free, but it is definitely worth the money. And if you don't go with LifeLock, get you some sort of monitoring service. Not just monitoring though, but a service that's going to monitor and protect and act in the event something happens. It's like having an alarm system. If you have an alarm system that's only going to go off, then what's going to happen is, if you don't have a monitoring, someone to back it up, nobody's going to come. The police are not going to be called. There's nobody that's going to chime in and really work to help save you and the lives of those that might be in your home. So again, think of it that way. When you look for whoever you decide to use, they need to monitor and also take action. Two different things. LifeLock will do both of those for you. So check them out. So first two things for free. The other thing you have to pay for, but again, we're talking about your security and the security of your family and your children, if you happen to have children. So, all right. Now, after you have actually, again, checked your credit report, you signed up for your creditkarma.com, you have somebody in place like a LifeLock to help facilitate or advocate for you with legal, you know, representation like LifeLock, you definitely want to look into getting a secure card. Now, so credit cards is, you know, that might be a whole nother video, because personally, I know that a lot of people are not taught how to appropriately use credit cards. We do come from the school of thought of, if you're in the store and they're having a sale and you get to that register and they're going to give you another 15% off or 10% off or 20% off in some cases, and it's just all you have to do is sign up for the card. Whether it really means apply for the card, whether you're going to get it or not, you get it because you want to get a discount. Well, unfortunately, that's really not the way to go. Every time somebody runs your credit, that is a hit to your actual credit. And depending on who is running your credit, it could be a soft hit versus a hard hit. And again, that is a lot of additional detail within itself, but basically one counts a little more than the other, and they both stay on your credit for a period of time. So you do need to be clear about whether or not this is a hard inquiry or if this is a soft hit, because either way your credit is going to be affected. And I know some people feel like, well, my credit's already bad, so it can't really get any worse, but honestly, you are adding to the problem when you do that. When you get a credit card, you really only need one secure card. You do not need a card for all of these stores across the board just to get the discount. I understand that, you know, you can get points and rewards after spending so much money, but you really do have to be mindful. If you're going to get a store card, get a card that has some sort of exchange. So some card that, for example, Macy's, if you get a Macy's credit card, there's also the Amex part of the Macy's credit card. So you don't have to just use it at Macy's, you can use it out and about. So if you are going to apply for a store card, make sure you apply for a card that has universal use. So for me, you know, I have a lot of cards because I have a lot of cards. And that's just because how I started. I mean, it's not that I'm using them all, it's just that I've had them for a while. And when it comes to your credit, you definitely want to make sure that you're not opening cards and closing cards or having cards closed on you, because all of that affects your credit report. For example, some of these cards I've had for years, but I don't want to close them because the amount of time or the length of time that you've had credit established also truly impacts your credit. So it's better to just leave it open and kind of use it, every now and then, just to keep activity going through there, to keep the card open. Nowadays, companies are closing cards for you. If you are not using the card and you haven't used the card within a certain period of time, you will receive notification via email or mail that they're closing your card or have already closed your card. So, yeah. Again, so get you a secure card, get you a Discover. Let's see, Amex. I love Amex. I really like Discover as well. Let's see, there's several others out there that you could probably go with, but I would say that those two probably are my favorites. So again, just get you a secure card that you can use. A lot of the banks have connections with lenders and they're able to help you get a card as well. But if you're not exactly sure like what the card is and what benefits it offers, if you get on if you get on creditkarma.com, there is a section for credit cards, and it does tell you exactly what you qualify for and what that card provides. You do want to, if you can, get you a card that there is no annual fee, meaning the card is free. What you use, you pay for, and if you pay for that within prior to the 30 days of it being due, then you don't pay any interest. You also want to pay very close attention to what the interest rate is on the card, because that matters, because sometimes these interest rates are astronomical, and even a small drop in the bucket of you using the card is then going to put you in a situation where you're paying more in fees than you pay just on the purchase that you made. So just be careful. So again, get your credit report, Credit Karma, get you some sort of LifeLock service. Then make sure that you apply for a credit card if you don't have one. I know everybody's like, oh, they're not going to give me one, but if you file bankruptcy, you can still get a credit card. Again, if your credit is not in a good place, it might be that your first card is a secure card, but you might have to pay for it, or it might be a card where you don't have to pay for it, but you do have to put $100 on it to be able to use it. And then after that, if you show that you're being responsible, then it'll turn into more of a regular credit card situation. So it might be that you have to spend a little money. I would not advise you go out and spend. I think my first credit card that my mom got me, oh my gosh, I think I was in my teens. I think it was like $250 maybe. It was very expensive. Again, I was young. I didn't have any credit, and she was just trying to get me started early, and so she paid a lot for that card. So, I mean, while I do think it was helpful, if you don't have to do that and you don't have to spend that kind of money, get you a reliable, secure card and be responsible with your payments. Okay? Let's see. Your balance. I alluded to that a little bit. Your balance is super important. Do not use, let me get a little closer. Do not use more than a third of your credit card if you are not able to pay that within the next period. I would strongly suggest that you don't use a third of it at all, because, more than a third of it at all, because honestly, you're going to find yourself in a situation where it's a vicious cycle and you feel like you can't pay this off because the interest is accruing and your balance is getting larger even though you're making the payments, and you can't seem to get anywhere. So my recommendation would be not to go above a third of the usage on your credit card. Credit card usage is another key factor when it comes to this. The creditors or lenders are going to be looking at your debt to income ratio. So if I have, 2 cards and all the cards are maxed out to the top of whatever it is, and plus I have a car note and a house note, and all of that is taken into consideration up against really what you're bringing in to say, oh, nope, you are too much of a risk. Oh, well, you don't really utilize your card enough. So it has to be a balancing act on the scale, and they call that a debt to income ratio, and you need to make sure that you are always somewhere in the middle. You want to use your card, but you want to keep the utilization percentage very low. Okay? So aka don't get crazy, okay? I know we get excited with these credit cards and we swipe, but then you forget that you have to pay it. Like, that bill's gonna show up. I mean, you lived your best life during that sale, child, but they're gonna be looking for every single coin that they loaned you, because really, if you think about it, a credit card is nothing but a loan, because they want their money back. Period. That's that on that. So anyway, be very careful when it comes to the utilization of the actual card itself. I also would say, in addition to not using more than a third of whatever the balance is on the card, again, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just in case you missed it, do not put anything on your credit card that you cannot pay off within the next 1 or 2 pay periods. And I don't mean because you're going to work overtime and be able to pay for it. I don't mean because you have some extra money coming in from wherever it might be coming in from. I mean, with your normal amount that you make, if you cannot pay the additional payment on the card, half of what you put on the card, or the whole entire thing in the next 1 to 2 pay periods, do not charge it. And I know that people are going to be like, well, you know, I knew I could pay it off in 6 months. But honestly, if you, let's say you go out and you purchase, I don't know, something, a bag or whatever you're buying, electronics, whatever it might be, a smart TV. If you happen to go and purchase that, and let's say something happens, your car breaks down. Now, that money that you were spending or planning to spend, that $500 that you were going to put back on the card, or that $300 you plan to put back on the card, and now you have to put it into your actual vehicle so that you can get to work to make the money, because you don't have an emergency fund. That's what I mean. Like, honestly, if you cannot get it paid off within that one or two paychecks, you could definitely get caught in a vicious cycle. And I don't want you to do that, because it happens really fast and it's really hard to get out of it. So be very mindful with what you're using when it comes to the cards. So I also want to say, make sure that, you know, you are paying the people. Y'all, we can't just we cannot use the people's coin and not give them their money back. Like, you really, you know, like, would you really give me more money if you gave me $300 and I didn't make good on that? Would you really want to keep lending to me? You would probably tell everybody, oh, she don't, you know, don't do that. She don't pay her bills. So lenders and creditors, they're the same. It's the same concept. So make sure that you pay them the way you need to pay them. If you need to adjust your payment date, your due date, you can do that. It's usually like once. You can do that on your card. If you need to make arrangements with these people, make sure you do that before it's due, not them coming after you. You really just want to establish a good relationship with people, because once you do, you can get in a great routine, and when you look up, they will be sending you things in your email. They will be mailing you stuff. They will be increasing your credit limit without you even asking. Trust me, I know. So listen to me, okay? I'm telling you, that's good information. But anyway, I know I'm laughing, but this is really serious, because honestly, we did not get all this credit. Well, I did not get the rundown of all things credit growing up. So this is why I'm telling you what I'm telling you right now. So let's see. If you have a credit card and you're trying to figure out how to get the credit limit increased, you can actually make the request to the lender. A lot of times you can do it online, or you can do it on the phone. You can ask them to raise your limit if your credit card account is within good standing. This is also a very good practice to increase your debt to income ratio in a positive way. Meaning, let's say you have like $10,000 in cards, but you only have a balance of, you know, like $800 altogether. That is a very good balance of your debt to income ratio with everything else considered. So that's what I mean when I say use the cards, but be responsible with using the cards, because that's really super important. And my last tip is to be very, very consistent with your payments. They are watching, okay? Like, you can make, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you can make millions of dollars, but if you are not actually taking the time to build your credit, you are going to run into some issues later on down the line. Period. That's just that on that. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you. Those are my 10 tips. I hope that, you use them. Let me know in the comment section. Do you have a card? Is it a secure card? How long have you had the card? Do you like your credit card company? Or are you looking for another credit card company? Let's just have a conversation about it, okay? All right, so I hope this was helpful for you. And, I hope to see you in my next video. And as always, bye.